team out of the end zone. For sure.
Yeah, they were a good offense too. I was concerned about that, and guys just played their butts off and did a good job of executing the plan, and took a lot of pride in finishing the game, which was cool. Didn't matter who was in the game at the end; those guys wanted to keep them out, and it was awesome to get that stop at the end.
Have you guys made the most strides from game one to now?
I think we're playing a lot better at safety, to be honest with you. I think we made some moves there that were the correct things to do. I think we're getting a little more comfortable in our lineup at linebacker. I know we're doing a lot of toggling there. It certainly helps. Oklahoma State, we definitely missed Jacob Parrish, but I think we're playing a lot better around him at corner. I think guys are just getting a little bit more comfortable playing together. I think there's just a little bit more flow to what they're doing, and the execution level is a little bit higher.
How key was it?
Big 12 team that ranks in the top 20 in scoring defense. Is that a particular sense of pride that you guys have?
I couldn't even have told you that we were, to be honest with you. I think that's really cool. At the end of the day, though, I hope our guys are more zeroed in on just getting the next play stopped, and getting out of that series and getting out of the next quarter and the next half, and just kind of one at a time. That's been our thing. And I think one of the things that, in reference to the earlier question too, I think early in the year, I thought there was a lot of pressure on those guys that they felt like they needed to be perfect all the time. And I think that the last couple of weeks, that pressure's eased off and they're just playing football. And I think that's, not worrying about all those kind of things, or just doing what they do. And I think that's made us a lot more comfortable on the field.
Key was it to have Clifton just slide in and play like a starter?
Yeah, the way we look at him is that he is a starter. He plays as many snaps as a starter. He's just a really good football player. He's tremendously sharp, very unselfish for the things that we ask him to do. Plays all three linebacker spots, plays two other spots in third down defense, and he's just we couldn't do what we're doing without him. It was noticeable when he was out of the lineup too. And so, while Austin Romaine gets himself back to health, good health status, I think Jake's going to continue to have to do some of those things. And how well he's playing now, it's scary to think how well he'd play if he was able to zero in on one thing or one position. So Jake's been phenomenal.
How did you expect Austin to be back out there?
I think he'll play this week. Maybe not in quite as many snaps as he was playing before the injury, but he's been practicing all week. He'll be ready to go.
What do you see from Donov Smith, their quarterback?
We've got a lot of experience with him, seeing him here. And, the scariest thing about what they do is obviously they have a lot of offense and they do a lot of different things. But, when they involve him in the run game, that's something that we're certainly concentrating on, because I think that's an aspect that, as a 240-pound guy, it's not just getting people to the point of attack, it's actually finishing at the point of attack also. So he's, I know when he was here last year with Tech, caused us some problems in some of the quarterback run game that they did, and scramble game on top of that, some of the design things and some of the things that were maybe more off the cuff. I think he throws the ball well. He's got just a rocket for an arm, and he's able to extend plays, and he's a really good football player. When you couple that with the athletes they have on the perimeter, it's a good offense too.
In a good way? Did it feel like you guys flipped a 180 when it came to tackling, at least last week?
Yeah, no, I thought we tackled a lot better against a team that was breaking a lot of tackles, and that's just what the Big 12 is. Houston's no different. We're going to have a lot of great athletes on the perimeter. They're going to have good backs. They got a quarterback that can break tackles. They've got linemen that can stay on you, and so if we're going to play well, if you look at it on Sunday, if we played well, it's probably because we tackled well. If we didn't play well, it's probably because we didn't. I don't think there's a lot of times where we're going to be just drastically out of position or anything like that. It's just we're going to have to finish plays, and when we do, we typically play really well.
You were recruiting Desmond Perell. Can you go back and tell me what your first impressions of him were and what you like so much about his upside?
Kind of exactly what we're getting right now, although in a different position. We thought he was a safety at the time. We didn't really know where to play him. He was still kind of a developing guy too. He was a late bloomer a little bit, and we just thought that he was being a smart guy. He was going to fit our culture. He was going to be a try-hard guy. He was going to be a guy that could learn multiple positions. And, he was a little bit of a fish out of water at safety, to be honest with you. That probably wasn't what he was going, as he continued to develop and his body got bigger and, just had a different looking butt than the rest of the guys in the safety room. And so, we moved him to linebacker, and didn't expect him to catch on quite as quickly as he had. We toyed with him there for a little bit and, sent him on some blitzes and stuff, and he looked really good doing that stuff. But just as we expected, he's learned that position, he's mastered that position, and I dare you to find anybody in the conference that's playing as fast as him, in the things that he's doing right now. And, this offseason was awesome for him. He's put on about another 16 pounds of muscle, and he just looks like a linebacker now, and he's playing at a really, really high level.
What do you attribute the red zone success the defense has had?
Something we concentrated on a lot in the off season. Something we studied and worked a lot at. We were, I guess the word would be poor in red zone. You don't want to talk about scores. I think it's a misleading thing when you say red zone conversion percentage, because if you get down there, if a guy makes a field goal, it's great, and if you hold him the field goal, it's not good. And we look at it differently. I think if we hold them the field goals down there, we're doing well. So the stat that we're most interested in is red zone touchdown percentage if we get down there, and that is something that we do track pretty closely, and I think we're second in the country in that. And I think it's just due to the fact that we're spending a lot of time talking about it. We talk about it weekly. We talk about it Friday nights. It's something that we put an emphasis on. I don't know that we're doing anything really differently down there. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than we were in the past, but just the emphasis on it, I think, is resonated with our players.
What about on third down? Because you're having similar success there at I think top 20 in the country.
Yeah, I think we're we've got some guys that are good man players, and I think that helps. And I think another thing that I think we're getting a little bit better at is the looks and some of the understanding of where we can and cannot stand, and being able to mix in some man with a lot of the zones that we like to play on third down. So, we're got a lot of guys that can rush. That helps. I mean, personnel-wise, we're built to be good in that situation. And we've been able to knock down some runs that maybe come at inopportune times. So some things that teams are trying to do to us is run the ball on third and long to try to keep us out of some of our stuff. And we've been good on some of those situations too. So at the end of the day, it all just comes down to execution. And if you got guys that believe in what you're doing, and I think we do, and go out there and play fast, I think we can get things done.
Does an air raid run more rub routes than normal passing offenses do?
Yeah, I don't know. Philosophically, it depends on the coach probably, but TCU is a huge rub route. Houston's going to be a team that's going to get you in man, and they have their things that they like in man, and so I think they all have kind of similar thoughts, and just trying to get one-on-ones and hope their guys can win, and we're hoping the same thing.